Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. We're going to try this over again. I noticed at the end of yesterday's video, it sounded very mechanic. So I've switched some chords around and let's hope that this actually works. Maybe it's all part of the growing pains of using a newer computer as opposed to the computer I've been using for the last while. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it because it's been a bit... the last 24 hours for some reason in the cryptocurrency space have just been completely insane. The price of Bitcoin increased from $12,900 US to $13,600 US in 4 hours, recording a 5% rally. The uptrend coincided with positive developments from the European Central Bank, or the ECB, and optimistic job data from the United States. Throughout the past week, Bitcoin has continuously rallied despite negative macro factors. The U.S. stock market was in a steep decline, the number of 19 around the world. The perception of Bitcoin as a safe haven asset is noticeably strengthening due to the rise in institutional demand. But when risk on assets such as stocks are declining, they could place indirect pressure on Bitcoin. As such, when stocks rally and risk on assets thrive, the short-term outlook for the price of Bitcoin improves. On the 29th of October, there were several events that caused risk on assets to increase. First, the European Central Bank said it might seek a new stimulus package in December. Second, U.S. job data reflected the lowest weekly claim since the start of 19. And to be fair, and I'm going to try and find this for all of you as well, because I think everyone needs to see these things. Jobless numbers around the world, especially right now, are complete. They're fake. They're falsified. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. And I'll try and give it to you in a little short smidge as well. And I'll try and remember to either link the video in this description or post it on Twitter or something like that. So the way that jobless numbers actually work, you would assume, and I'm sure you're all thinking that you can figure out how, how jobless numbers actually work. The way they actually work, especially in the United States, it's people who are without a job, who are actively, continuously looking for a job. This is how you get the actual unemployment rate. Why is this an issue, you might ask? Because it doesn't take into account people who have given up. People who have been looking for a job for 2 years and they've simply stopped looking because nothing has come their way. These are also not counted in the actual unemployment figures. It does not count in parents who've had children who had to leave their job because they now have a child. These are also not counted. It doesn't count the people who are homeless. It doesn't count people who are under the age of 16, over the age of 65, and there are many other factors as well. So there's a guy who made a video, once again, I'll try and find it for you. He said that the actual unemployment rate within the United States alone is probably roughly around 56%. That also doesn't count in the unemployment figures for people who may not have proper paperwork and or documentation. They're also not counted in this as well. So one can only imagine that the hospitality sector of jobs, hotels, bars, restaurants, all these things that you just can't open or are not open, are also not counted in it's a whole thing. So a lot of the numbers that world governments right now have been releasing aren't the real numbers, and they keep saying, oh, things are getting better, things are getting better. I have a lot of friends in the States and I talk to these people all the time. There are no jobs, and a lot of these jobs are not coming back. One of my friends sends me about 5 messages every morning. It's a little drab because he sends them to me and I'm like, okay, things are getting worse. He just sent me something. For those of you who don't know what White Castle is, I'm sure a couple of you are like perked up. I know what White Castle is. They're apparently, you can even look this up, they're apparently planning on automating all of their restaurants, stores, whatever you want to call them, in the very near future. Like, these things are not coming back. So all the numbers that we keep getting, especially over the last year, remember all that news that we kept on getting about a V-shaped recovery? None of that stuff is actually going to happen. This is why we see a whole bunch of other companies and firms and institutions and banks allocating their funds into cryptocurrency. Why would they not be? If stocks were going to have this massive V-shaped recovery, why are there so many banks and institutions now getting into Bitcoin? If the economy was going to simply recover within the next couple of months, Why is everyone not buying up real estate? Why is everyone not buying up stocks or bonds or mutual funds? Especially when you get into the entire discussion of interest rates being at zero or very close to zero. And I think a couple of other countries have also lowered their interest rates below zero over the last couple of weeks. So that entire thing is just complete nonsense. It's being used as a cover-up or a front to say, oh no, things are definitely getting better, but they're not. And they're not going to be getting better for a very long time. And the jobs that we've seen lost are not coming back anytime soon. They're just not. Like, it's just simply a logical thing that it's not going to happen. The other part being is that I believe, I don't know when, February, March, April, I don't remember when it was, European countries had a stimulus-like package that was drizzled around them. It varied by country to country. So now apparently a second one or a second thing of them are going to be thrown at people. And one can only assume that this means that the governments are going to have to start printing extra money to be able to give these to their citizens. Still no word on when the US one is going to be released, going to hit the public, but it's about time. If you live in the States, I'm sure you know, a lot of people need this money, and the money is just not being sent out. I'm terrified of it being $1,200 once again, because that does nothing. I don't care where you live in the States at this point. You can live somewhere in Florida, you can live somewhere in Mississippi, you can live somewhere in Ohio. Even if your rent is $600 a month, which is not, you live inside of the smallest studio in the world, that still covers 2 months of just your rent. Anyway, it's an entirely different conversation. The point is, Bitcoin flew up by $600-700 over the course of a couple of hours. It has since slid down a bit, but not by a lot. Altcoins are not doing well right now. I think a lot of the focus is just trying to get Bitcoin past $14,000. This one says Bitcoin soars to $13,500 following ECB's announcement of monetary stimulus boost coming in December. There's a lot of news as well about Bitcoin breaking out, Bitcoin exploding, Bitcoin getting ready for something big. We've seen this over the last 2 weeks. I know it may seem a bit fatiguing, but I bring the news to you as it is, just so you can kind of get an indication of maybe market sentiment isn't the actual word for it, but just where people see things going, because I'm bombarded with this every single day. So therefore, I mini bombard you as well, so that you can really get at least a sort of a picture as to what the heck is going on. This one says Bitcoin holds ground above 13,000. Altcoins still struggle. This one says Bitcoin dominance is days away from triggering a 30% rally against alts. This one says, crucial macro Bitcoin indicator just printed a buy signal. Is this also one of them as well? No, that's something else. But you get the point. A lot of people are very bullish on Bitcoin right now. I've seen a lot of discussions that by next Wednesday or Thursday, Bitcoin should be on a clear course in some direction. Either world markets are tumbling and going down, and the Bitcoin scaredly, not a word, is following them, or you get what I'm saying. The point is, Bitcoin went up on that announcement. I assume it would maybe go up even more on some type of a US stimulus package announcement, but as it stands right now, all markets are going out of their mind. Like, nothing is correct, if that makes any sense. And without further ado, let's move on. In news that should be everywhere, and I mean even on actual normal news publication websites, TV shows, but it's not going to be, because you'll see why. According to a report from the state-run Iranian students, what's a student? Iranian Students News Agency, Iran has established new regulations to funnel Bitcoin mined by Iranians into state coffers so that it can use them to pay for imports. I repeat, one more time, the Iranian government apparently has come to the decision to take excess money from miners, people who are mining cryptocurrency within their country. Whatever, the idea is that people who are mining cryptocurrency around the world right now, you have to take a portion of that to pay for your electricity fees, and it usually goes to some state-run entity. The Iranian government, once again, is now using that runoff that is used to pay for the electricity or whatever the actual cost might be, and they're putting it away aside and saving it. The edict put forth by the Ministry of Energy and Central Bank of Iran requires the country's legally registered cryptocurrency miners to sell their tokens they mine to the CBI. The country, which has watched its foreign reserves dwindle by over 33% in 2 years, has increasingly eyed Bitcoin as a workaround to U.S. sanctions, which we spoke about before. This was news that we had in 2018. And so many people were like, that's a lie. That's not going to happen. The news that we got was that not South Korea, the other one, Iran, Russia, it wasn't Afghanistan, and there was one other country, and Venezuela, also being the sixth one in that actual list, had apparently, allegedly started to accumulate large sums of cryptocurrencies in an effort to avoid sanctions. And I said, that seems crazy because, the idea has been for a very long time that as a very strong country, you can simply kick your boot around and tell other countries, you can't do this, you can't do that. I said, wow, isn't that insane that we actually have Bitcoin right now and they're able to avoid the boot kicking? No one seemed to care. And the entire mantra for cryptocurrency for Bitcoin has been for a very long time that we would start seeing the dominoes topple. So when we had 6 dominoes lined up at once, I was like, wow, this is clearly going to do something for the market because, tons of people must be paying attention to this. I think normal retail investors didn't care at all because it meant nothing to them. However, this is why I think we're seeing an increased movement of institutional investors into the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin space because this is insane. Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin was created or made, I think, on Halloween. So I think we're near the 12th anniversary. I think that's what it is. I'm so afraid of actually hitting the microphone because I don't know if that's going to trigger that weird mechanical sound thing once again. That Bitcoin has been around for roughly around 12 years. And we've gotten to the point where there are multiple countries who are gathering as much Bitcoin as possible into their coffers, into their whatever thing you kind of want to call it. It's insane. This means that they're preparing for a very big move relatively soon, or if not within the next 5 to 10 years. Why Bitcoin? Why are they not taking Tether? Why are they not taking XRP? Why are they not taking some other coin? It's because Bitcoin is going to be the reserve currency of the future, whether you believe it or not, whether you believe in Bcash, whether you believe in BSV. You got to understand where all of this is going. This is insane. The U.S. has had a strong grip hold on every country since Bretton Woods, since the 40s, since the 50s and 60s, when all these other things were also taking place. So within the last 12 years, to have something that can get away from that control, and this is why I said this should be reported on every single news outlet, but they won't because, you have to make sure that the integrity of the U.S. dollar remains strong. But this is a clear... And I forgot that I had the camera on. There's a finger in the middle of your hand. That's what that is right now to the sanctioners. Clear, very, very clear. There's no way actually around that. Iran's move is reminiscent of fellow petrostate Venezuela's recent decision to nationalize mining pools. Venezuela is also subject to U.S. I don't know how else to really put this. Here's the actual article. I cannot read this. However, this is the article that was being referenced from the Iranian Students News Agency. This is major. This is absolutely insane because we can also only assume, just an assumption, but this is logical. I try to be as logical as possible on this channel and through life. If they're doing it, other people who are also under sanctions are also probably doing the exact same thing. And probably if they have any type of allies, any type of friends, they're probably doing the exact same thing. And one can only assume it's probably not just the country who's doing it, probably also the leaders. This is all alleged. I don't know. But one can only assume if MicroStrategy has $250 million worth of Bitcoin, and the CEO also has $250 million worth of Bitcoin, you make sure that if your country or company is going to be doing something, that you're mimicking the exact same thing. when we talk, oh my gosh, there's just so much to like. This is like a not even Pandora's box. This is something absolutely huge and major, and it's going to have no immediate impact or short-term impact on the cryptocurrency space. It's only years down the line when we start getting these actual numbers and people can start telling which address belongs to who and yada, 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 that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I should have bought more. This is nuts. The world is increasingly trying to make sure that it is digitized. And all these governments, all these companies are collecting massive sums of Bitcoin. I'm going to move on because I can continue rambling on for quite a long amount of time, but I know it'll do nothing. I know there's maybe like 5 people out there who are like, oh, snap. And they're really, making moves as the term goes. But we are going to have a completely different world in 10 years, and people are not prepared. They are absolutely not prepared for what's coming. Next up, Fidelity Digital Assets, the cryptocurrency-focused wing of financial services giant Fidelity, is teaming up with a Singaporean startup in a bid to cater to the Asian market, according to reports. Fidelity Digital Assets will work with Stack Funds, an investment manager, Bloomberg reported today. I tried to open up the Bloomberg report, and then they said that I couldn't do it because I had to pay them. It's Bloomberg and Forbes who are constantly, they want me to take, it's like a yearly subscription or something like that. And I'm like, I just want to read your article. The partnership will provide crypto custody services and aims to help satisfy growing demand from family offices and the region's wealthy investors, the report added, which means that they've already gotten people contacting them within Asia to help them to be able to buy and custody cryptocurrency. And they were like, hey, we can't do it because we are not legal there yet. So this is why I assume the partnership has happened. You don't do a major move like this, especially as Fidelity, on hopes and dreams and prayers and go, oh, I hope someone walks through the doors. That means they've gotten probably several hundred very wealthy clients and or families who are like, we are interested in buying $50 million worth of X, Y, and Z. Please help us do business with you. This is nuts. I think the last, if I ever had any doubts about where the cryptocurrency space was going, it's all, any doubt is completely out the window at this point, because it is abundantly clear that this is going to shake the world by its core, at its core, from the core, something core. Core's in that sentence somewhere. Because there's just so much money floating around all of this that it's going to, whatever. The point is, Fidelity is apparently now moving into Asia. There's a lot of money in Asia, so it makes sense to go in that direction. Let's move on. In the most popular news story of the day, and I only made sure to have one tab open for this, but you can find it. If you type in Binance Tai Chi, you will definitely find it. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao took to Twitter to deny a Forbes report alleging that Binance, the world's top cryptocurrency exchange, had created an elaborate corporate structure designed to intentionally deceive regulators and surreptitiously profit from crypto investors in the what an SAT word, surreptitiously, in the United States. He said FUD. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a stupid word that means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The statements and accusations in the article are incorrect. The whole article hinges on a third-party document. The said document was not produced by a Binance employee, current or an ex-one, which is very important. I'll get to that in 1 second. Anyone can provide a strategy document, but it does not mean Binance follows them. The idea is, or what happened was, that apparently an article surfaced somewhere. Boom, here's the article. And it said that Binance had been working on finding ways to circumvent U.S. customs, sanctions, all these other things in a way that they could, so to be able to do business around the world without having to really bend the knee. You get the idea behind that. The problem is that, like he just said, is that anyone could have produced this and then handed it in and said that this is from Binance. It's very easy. You've seen videos online of other celebrities' faces on other people's faces. You've seen all the filters. You've seen everything that we can do with technology. Why would someone not be able to mimic an article or piece of paper or documents that said that Binance had done so and so and so. The ex-employee thing is important because apparently the report comes from ex-employees. It's meant to be a cluster of them who left Binance, who decided to tell the truth and tell everyone how it was. Listen, this is not me sticking up for Binance. What this is just me trying to show you how ridiculous the cryptocurrency space is. Binance is currently the largest cryptocurrency exchange on the planet. One can only assume that there is at least one person out there who's a bit jealous of their success. The idea that, and this is going to hold up a mirror to the entire industry, we can only assume that if Binance did indeed do these things, no one knows, they're probably not the only cryptocurrency exchange who's done stuff like this. I know, weird, right, to think, maybe there are other companies who are also evil and or doing bad things as well. We've had many discussions before about cryptocurrency exchanges cutting off their systems, hitting the circuit breakers, saying this isn't happening, or that they're going to... We're not listing any new coins. 4 days later, we see a coin pumping, and then 4 days later, that coin gets added to... an exchange. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So this was major breaking news. I've noticed a lot of people do not like Binance. I don't know where the idea came from. I know that there are indeed about 2 very popular cryptocurrency YouTubers who make sure on a daily basis to say negative things about Binance. And I really don't know why. I don't get it, especially when there are so many other exchanges who are doing probably the exact same thing and or cryptocurrency projects. Remember all the DeFi stuff, which we're also going to get into in a couple of seconds. It's just that... Sorry, I just woke up. It's just something that happens. The point being, very popular news all over the place. Everyone's talking about it. Whether they did it or not, I'll tell you right now, in 3 weeks, nobody will care. Because, once again, other cryptocurrency exchanges are doing the exact same thing. It's just how it is. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. It's just my life. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, in popular news, cryptocurrency custody platform Casa's users can now purchase Bitcoin on the platform using their bank account. The platform announced on Thursday, it's already Friday, this week went so fast, it's nuts. The platform announced on Thursday that it is currently rolling out the service for its US customers and that the purchased Bitcoin would be directly deposited to a user's wallet. Casa said users can buy a maximum of $20,000 worth of Bitcoin per month. That's it. Only 20K? That's a joke. Using this service and the platform, I hope you knew that, because I was like, they can see my face now, so they can see all the little weird face movements I make. Using this service and the platform levies a fee of 0.99% on every single purchase. So, yeah, Casa is rolling out Bitcoin purchases. And I don't know. I assumed we'd get at least, a couple more companies who would be announcing that they're doing this because, PayPal, but cool. Awesome. I like the idea of being able to buy cryptocurrency a lot better than companies being like, oh, please sell us your cryptocurrency or buy this new fantastic condo and or Maserati. Why do I keep saying Maserati? To spend your cryptocurrencies on. So I like people having access to the market, but not being coerced into selling what they have. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So if you use Casa, congratulations, you can now buy Bitcoin through their service. Let's move on. Also, I'm going to cluster this all together. There's a lot of this floating around as well. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says 3 reasons why Chainlink's downtrend against Bitcoin just started. A lot of people are a bit frazzled and or annoyed that DeFi coins are just simply not doing that well. We spoke about this a while ago, and I foreshadowed that it was going to be taking place because these coins have no actual purpose. I don't care if Chainlink has a price oracle, because you can do the exact same thing on Bitcoin with an upgrade. That's all that really matters. Part of the issue is that the DeFi hype got really hot really quick, and the markets are now realizing that no one's actually using these coins. 3 reasons why Chainlink's downtrend against Bitcoin just started. Over 86% of Yearn Finance's addresses are currently in loss. Declining decentralized exchange volumes reflect DeFi investors' shift to Bitcoin, data has shown. A lot of people are realizing, hopefully, that Bitcoin is the name of the game, and therefore they should just be heavily focused on Bitcoin. There is not a part of any future where any country is going to be accumulating Unicoin or Sushi Coin or Broccoli Coin or Toe Jam Coin into their reserves as a hedge against inflation or against sanctions. It's just not going to happen. These coins are going to continuously be used by people to kind of pump them so that you get into them, and then they can dump them, and then they can write articles and tell you about how much money they made and then tell you what the new hot thing is. That's how it works. That's how pyramids work. I'm trying to get you all away from these pyramids, and I did see a couple of people, like 3, throughout the last month or 2 who actually mentioned thank you, because I didn't realize a lot of these things were scams, and I almost put my money into one of them, and then an hour later the thing had collapsed. These are going to continue to fall until we see a rapid rise in Bitcoin's price. The DeFi coins will come back to life because that's how zombies work. You will start seeing more articles about how you should be getting into DeFi because it's outpacing Bitcoin, it's outpacing XRP, it's outpacing Litecoin. And then when Bitcoin finally reaches that 100K and then starts falling back down, these coins are going to become dust. These are not long-term coins. These are hype coins, and these are basically the new ICO. So there's a lot of this moving around in the cryptocurrency space about decentralize anything. And let's move on. And to finish things off, once again, in, I'll say it, stupidity news. I'm just going to read the title. It says, Binance Smart Chain is not an Ethereum replacement. This was said by Changpeng Zhao. For those of you who have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, a couple of months ago, a year ago, don't really know. Binance launched something called the Smart Chain. There's a Binance chain, there's a Binance Smart Chain, and there's another thing that they have. I think they're decentralized exchange, and they all kind of work together. The purpose of the Binance Smart Chain was for people, companies, institutions, whoever wanted to be able to build their coin, their app, their DApp, their website on top of it. It has a huge amount of transactions per second. The people from Binance made sure to note that it is indeed centralized, as I believe they are a centralized exchange, and that at some point it would become more decentralized than it currently is right now, but that's not currently the case. A lot of people had a problem with Binance launching their smart chain because it appeared to be a rival and or replacement to Ethereum. I find this interesting because in a free market, in a cryptocurrency-based, decentralized world where the strongest survives, a lot of people are upset with Changpeng Zhao and the people from Binance for even creating this thing, saying you shouldn't be creating something that can overtake and or overpower or take limelight away from Ethereum. Why not? That's the point of the cryptocurrency market. That's the point of any financial market right now. The strong survive. If yours is better and you do it better than the rest, then gosh darn it, you should be able to do that. We've spoke about this many times. There are tons of coins that I don't like that have come out that said that they're better than Ethereum, that they're better than Bitcoin, that they're better than XRP, that they're better than Litecoin. None of these coins have performed over the last 6 years. 0% of them. None of them have even come close to the top 5, nonetheless the top 10, and these coins have now fallen into obscurity, or people simply just don't use them as often. The point being, I don't know why this is always a discussion. I really don't get why people don't like Binance. If you can tell me in the comment section, that'd be wonderful. But I'm pretty sure the answers that people give me, well, I'll be able to replace Binance and simply add in Coinbase or Poloniex or OKEX or BitMEX or Kraken or any other cryptocurrency exchange. Not sure what it is. I don't think that anyone has to defend themselves against anything that they do within the cryptocurrency. As long as you're not actively trying to absorb money from people like in the DeFi space is probably fine. If they created a chain that allows hundreds, if not thousands of companies to be able to build and make their coins and all these other things on them so that we can have video games, why not? Don't forget, at this point, we're supposed to have Ethereum 3.0 moving to Ethereum 4.0. You can Google it. In 2017, we were supposed to have Ethereum 2.0. In 2018, 3.0. And now at this point, according to the old papers from long, long ago, we're supposed to have an Ethereum with millions of transactions per second. Millions. Not hundreds, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, millions. You can find an article. Type in Vitalik Buterin 100 million TPS or transactions per second. We still don't have it. So if someone else can do it and they start dominating and taking the lead, why the heck not? I don't get... People get so afraid of competition and they go, no, this isn't possible. This isn't going to be a thing. I don't understand why this isn't. It's like, just stop. Just stop the... Anyway, that's the other Binance news, which was also quite popular because people have nothing to... Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain Decentralized, Peter, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Abilbiophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohammed Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Damian Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangela, Vori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jamie Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hish, Everyday, and Cowskips, Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, and his half is Mouse Corner Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machanisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is still here, just still being yourself. That was very awkward. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently up by 0.67%. Here's the spike right here to 13,600. We have since started going back down. I assume the market got too hot. Whatever excuse people want to tell themselves. The trading volume is doing pretty well. I think last week we were at $21 billion. We're currently at $38 billion. Pretty strong. At the moment, however, altcoins are suffering. Ethereum is down by 2%. XRP is down by 3%. Chainlink is down by 5%. Binance Coin is down by 6.6%. Polkadot is down by 7%. You get the point. All coins are not doing well right now. I assume it has to do with everything. I think cumulatively, this is probably it. I don't think there's one actual reason as to why. I think it's everything that's been taking place this year, and the market just simply has no idea where to go. Yeah, nothing too crazy. No really random weird coins shooting up. The DeFi coins are doing terribly, as one would assume. Yeah, we'll see where all of this takes us in the next couple of days. Time is flying by. By next Thursday, we should have a clear indication as to where our market is going to go. So this time next week, you get my drift. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.